So this is scenario 3, but kind of after things have happened and you have found that you are with a group of people, hopefully that you trust. Now, let's just say that you have a group of 10 people. Half of them have prepared for whatever's coming down the road. Half of them have skills. So you've got your 10 people that you trust. Some of them don't have skills, some of them do. Some have experience, some of them don't. So, in my mind's eye, if 10 people are in your group, y'all probably should be eating the same meal. Y'all come together at one eating spot and you eat together. Now, hopefully, the people that haven't prepared can start bringing a little bit of what they have to each meal. The rest of the people are going to basically support the other half, right? Who's going to delegate the food out if someone down the road comes to your door, they have children, and you know them to be nice people, but they don't bring anything with them? It should be a group decision on what to do, right? How much food you have and how much you're going to dole out. Maybe you're going to say, okay, you help us get firewood, or you help us dig a root cellar, and you can eat your meals with us, providing you trust them. But who's going to cook the meals? Now, tradition says that probably the women will be cooking the meal. The men will be the hunters. Well, if you're a country folk like most of us here, or in here, there's no roles. There's no roles. There's some that know how to hunt. There's some that know how to trap. There's some that know how to garden. There's some that don't have a clue about gardening. But who's going to do the cooking? Are they going to ration as much as possible? Are they going to be honest about not, like if someone's out in the garden and someone's out trying to find some meat and someone else is out trying to get firewood and they're in the house by themselves, are they going to make a big pot of soup and have 2 or 3 bowls while no one is there? I don't know. So you're going to have to be able to trust these people to make healthy, nutritious meals, to ration things out, to think outside the box. So the people that are out doing hard physical labor are going to get the food that they need to sustain their chore, right? So the person that is designated as the cook or cooks need to be honest. They need to be rational. They need to not dole out someone else's food. Now, we all know someone that is just kind-hearted and can't stand to see someone else go through a hard time, and they're pretty gullible and will believe everything they say. Well, desperate people will say desperate things, right? So while everybody is out away from the house and somebody comes and says, listen, I've got 5 children. They are so hungry. We ran out of food a week ago. We've been able to find some fresh water. That's about the only thing that people have been able to give us. But we're awfully hungry. That still comes down to a collective group decision, in my opinion. It has to be a group decision, but if all 10 people are eating out of one person's food storage, the person that has that food storage, that has taken their time to put it up and had the forethought to put it up, they really should be the deciding person. Yes, give them something, or no. It's going to be pretty hard to let children go hungry. It really is. And parents that are seeing their children go hungry are going to get very desperate. So how do you determine who's going to do what? Obviously, the most physically fit are going to be doing the most physically fit chore, are going to be doing the most physical work. But what happens if there's 10 people and only 2 people know how to do everything? They know how to cook, they know how to preserve, they know how to hunt, they know how to trap, they know how to garden, they know how to ration food out, they know how to gather food out in the wild, they know what plants are edible and what plants aren't edible, they know how to do everything. So while there is a food need, that person is going to be busy teaching others how to do that, right? So if you have, let's say you have one person out of 10 people has 6 months of food just for them, and something happens and all 10 people have to eat out of that 6-month supply of food. First of all, there's going to be a whole lot of rationing going on, especially if the garden season isn't already in progress, right? What if it's the dead of winter? You can't have a garden. The deer are in yard. There's very few rabbits. There's very few anything that is wild that you can harvest, right? There's always going to be one person that's going to sneak a little bit of food here and there. There's always going to be one person that says, nah, I don't have any food. All I've got's a week worth of food, when they may have a month's worth of food. They're not going to tell you. They're going to bring a week's worth of food for them to this one eating spot. So when the ration that they're eating at this eating station, they go back home and they're eating a little bit more. So people are going to lose weight. People are going to lose weight a little bit faster than others, especially if you're out on foot and you're walking through the woods, you're cutting trees, you're in the garden, you're hauling water. Those people are going to need more food, and they're going to show that they're going to lose weight a whole lot faster than someone that is in tending to the fire, rationing food out, taking inventory. So those people are naturally going to eat less. Well, what if those people are in the habit of eating 3 big meals a day and snacking throughout the day? You think one meal, either the beginning or the end of the day, because during the day you're going to be too busy to eat, right, in order to survive. So you think that one person, being the one that is tending to the food, and they're down to 1 meal a day, do you think that one person is going to be honest enough not to eat food? Because they're so accustomed to eating all this food, it's going to be, they're going to look at that food and says, I want more. Now, I've worked with people, folks, that if they get hungry, they get angry. They do. They turn into the most miserable person you could ever imagine. They're snappy, they're sarcastic, they yell responses. They're just not pleasant people to be around because they've missed 1 meal. What happens if they only eat 1 meal a day? What happens if they can only eat 1 meal every 2 or 3 days? Those people aren't going to be pleasant to be around. You would think those people would have the forethought to store food, knowing that, and they know this, knowing that they get angry and are miserable to be around when they've missed 1 meal. So you would think those people would be stockpiling food, knowing that, right? But some people just don't have that in them to think that far ahead. They just don't. So there's my next question. How do you dole out the food? Who's going to dole out the food? And what do you think the most important traits of a person that is delegated to do this to have? Should there be more than one person doing the food? One person will kind of keep check on the other person, trying to making it honest, right? Or do you have three people, if three people are available, three people keeping each other in check? But there's always that case where I'm really, really hungry. This looks really, really good. I need to keep tasting this food to make sure it's palatable, right? And they taste test the food several times. The next person, the other person, or the other two people keep taste testing the food. Well, before the food is ready to be served to other people, they've already had their fill. Now they're sitting down with the others who have been out working all day, expending all this energy. They need more food, and they're getting the same amount as those people. So how do you keep it honest? Or can you keep it honest? I don't know. So, like I said, this is a series of 5 scenarios. This will be the last one of the day. And some people think this is all ridiculous. Fantasy. Just, we're all doomsday. Tell that to the people in North Carolina and Georgia. Tell that to them. I got an idea. They will tell you the lessons that they've learned, right? So it just is what it is. There's people of a certain mind. There's people that laugh at us for having a certain mind. They don't get us. We don't get them. But being prepared is like having insurance, right? It's the same thing. Same thing.